What it do, Moody?
What's up? What's up?
Sean. Still on this couch, but hopefully finer days are coming soon. I mean, it's crazy. Earlier this week, we had like, 2-3 days of like mid 70s, got up to like 85 one day. And then the very next day, it drops 50 degrees and starts snowing.
I
And
was
it's
mad
like,
as hell too, being at work too. I was like, you had the nerve to be fucking like 80 degrees today, and it
Mhm.
dropped to freezing that night.
I was
I
out in
like,
t-shirt and
mad as hell.
shorts. That day was 85 and
Mhm.
like some slippers. Like I was out like it was summertime. And then the next day, you just look outside and it's snowing. Good thing none of it like really stuck, so that's the fortunate part. But apparently it's supposed to be, I saw on the Google weather, it said Monday is supposed to be a high 69 and a low of something, but it had like snow,
Yeah.
rain clouds on like the little graphic. So I'm like, still not out of it yet, but I mean, it seems like we're getting closer to better weather than not,
Yeah.
obviously. But I got two on the docket for my Percy's.
What you had to say about the Oscars?
Oh yeah, man. Oscars are tomorrow. I'm excited for that. Like, I think some of it's gonna be a little predictable, but I do think if there's early signs, it could be a Parasite situation where like Parasite was a lot of people's favorites,
Mm-hmm.
but they were like, man, being an international movie, it's in a completely different language, not really one to typically win Best Picture or like a lot of the top of the line awards, but then it ended up sweeping everything.
Yeah.
I feel like right now the favorite is probably One Battle After Another. Just guessing what the Academy would have voted for. I think One Battle After Another wins Best Picture and Best Director. But I personally think I wouldn't be surprised if Sinners pulled that out.
I don't think it would be a surprise. I think Sinners is the favorite, and they're playing in our face if it ain't. That's what I think. I think they're playing in our face, but it's as simple as that to me.
I would disagree. I think because again,
fine.
One Battle has been winning everything on the award circuit. Paul Thomas Anderson's been winning all the Best Director awards, and so those usually act like a precursor to what's about to happen at the Oscars. But again, I do think that I recently on my just the other day I have flipped my number 1 and 2 on my top 25 of 20 of last year, top 20 of last year, and I was like, yeah, I've seen Sinners enough now that I've bumped that up to my number 1 movie. And personally, I think that was my favorite movie of the year. That one, and One Battle After Another is great. It's not Paul Thomas Anderson's best work, but again, this is almost kind of like a makeup at this point. But I think the feat of work of like what Sinners is, and the fact that I just got to give it like for an original piece of like written work. It's impressive every time I watch that movie from front to back. There is not really a bad part. Some people might not like the vampire like action scenes after like near the end, but I'm like everything works into its cohesive story. I think One Battle After Another is entertaining. There's great cinematography in it, like great moment. I love that movie. It's a tough battle. That's why between it's gonna be a back and forth. I think in the last minute voting, I would have to switch my ballot from One Battle to Sinners, but I think One Battle is probably going to win.
Okay.
I think Michael B. Jordan though has a really strong chance of winning Best Actor. That one where I was like initially I was like Timmy's got this in the bag, but again watching Sinners again and watching Michael B. Jordan's performance, like I think typically Michael B. Jordan to me is a pretty flat actor. I thought he really showed some acting chops playing not just one guy but two guys, but even if it was just one guy, like this was the most impressive acting performance that I've seen him do in his career. And that's not even just saying like for The Rock, him and that UFC movie, Smashing Machine. That's a great acting performance for The Rock. But I think Rock could get to another level if you give him something that's not having to be sports related. Michael B. Jordan, not only this is the best acting performance for him, this is honestly one of the best performances of the year that I hopefully gets recognized. But yeah, I'm excited to see how it plays out. That's tomorrow around 7:00, so I'll definitely be tuning in for that. But that's my precursor. That's my warm up for the next thing that I got to talk about my Percy's.
Yeah, because your Wizards got cooked. So
yes, they did.
Not Bam specifically, but it was just a loss. But what was the loss? You know the stat line? Or not the stat line, but
it was like 150 to like 120.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, congratulations to Bam Adebayo for breaking or passing Kobe's modern day record, if you want to call it, of 81 points in an NBA game, scoring 83 points against I'm gonna say for now, my Wizards. Because people have been giving slack to Bam and the Heat.
150 to 129.
Yeah, for basically saying that this game needs an asterisk and giving a lot of flack. I have no heat against, no pun intended, against Bam and the Heat. I think the only thing that I would find just like not even distasteful, but just ridiculous having to watch is the team up by 30 fouling the other team in the waning seconds, like minutes of trying to set the record. At that point, I'd rather you just because he was at like 76, 74, and I get you're tired. And I'm just like, oh, go ahead, shoot for it. But I don't even care. Like, go get it how you're going to get it. Because at the end of the day, for 3.5 quarters, that nigga was busting our ass. Like, he had 31 at the end of the first. And I remember I tuned in, I at least brought up the score because I was out watching a movie and I saw he had 26. I had to double check. I was like, wait, this game just started. And I was like,
also,
he had 26 and the first quarter wasn't even over. And he had at 31, and then he had at least about 60 by the time it got to halftime. So I'm like,
he had 45 at the half. He had 45 at the half and had 62. I texted you when he had 62.
Yeah.
In the third. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. Because right when I had flipped it on, he was at 58. And 2 more buckets back to back. And I was just like, that's when I was like, yo, this nigga.
He was on for the night. Like, he was going well.
Hot,
the fact that, though, he did have 43 free throws, made 37 of them. So, yeah, 37 points off the line. So that means he had to score, 50?
What, 46.
46 points from the field. That's my issue more so is with the Wizards. I have no issues with what the Heat did as a team other than those last few minutes because it's just a mockery. But then that gets to my issue with the NBA in general. But the Wizards, no, I'm officially on a don't care anymore about this franchise.
I would say
that is there's we throw the term out tanking way too loosely because I'm like, if you're a bad team, you're a bad team. Right? Like, you're a bad team, you're a bad team. Like, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Tanking is what just happened. Because you can't be that bad. Like, have some goddamn spine. They weren't double teaming him until the end of the game. And it's like, yeah, if you're going to allow that for shit to happen, that's on you.
Yeah. That's all right. What's Mark Keefe? What's his name?
Who?
The head coach, Keefe.
Brian O'Keefe.
Brian O'Keefe, yeah. Yeah, that shit, because that's what it was crazy. It was like, yeah, he didn't call for a double until he had like 74.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, you're talking about like
that's on the Wizards as a franchise, and this is why I'm like, I'm officially don't care. I will give you back my Wizards fandom card. And right now, I outside of like once like LeBron leaves the Lakers and I was not feeling beholden to LeBron's every decision, I'll probably rejoin the Lakers as my team as well. But right now, I'm like, I don't even care to have an NBA team anymore. I'm just watching to see good basketball at this point, and I don't care to have a team to follow anymore because that shit is bullshit.
I was gonna say that team. I mean, that performance was absolutely abysmal because once again, as you said, like, you can't. I don't think anybody, even with the free throws at the end, it's like, how rare do you get an occasion where somebody's even knocking on the door of 80?
Yeah.
However you get there is how you get there. So it's like, regardless.
He gave you the business for 3.5 quarters.
Exactly,
people are going to sleep on the last 5 minutes. And I'm like, I was watching that game near the end. I'm like, yo, Wizards run out the fucking clock. But at some point, I realized like they're fouling up 30.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. But
I'm like, yeah. And then, once you start, because that directive is coming from the coach too. So like once the Wizards start fouling, it's like, what the? Because it was OD. Like, in the sense, like, there was a take that he had where Bub Carrington is how tall? 6'2". Yeah, the smallest guy on the court, right? And he's barreling towards him. And I'm like, get out the way. And he just, sticks his hands out like this to like brace himself. And I'm like, I know that's what he's doing, but I'm like, that's a bad foul. Like, you're sending him to the line. I'm like, that team is insanely so fucking bad. Watching that defensively, Alex Sarr, possession after possession after possession, getting cooked. Tween, body roll, leg. Like, I watched that same fucking thing at least 3 times.
Well, he only played like 20 minutes too. He had a pretty good offensive game, but
yeah.
Like,
he had like 20 and 9. I'm pretty sure.
He had like almost 30. Yeah. Like he's the only one that did well, but he only played 20 minutes. Trae Young was out for the game.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
And then
like,
you added up
that is a disgraceful performance that I'm like, I don't care anymore about this team.
Yeah. And then
because this is not a serious franchise.
Yeah. The fact that there was no Tyler Hero, no Khalil Ware, so he didn't have his backup either. No Jaime Hawkins. So all the people that we know by name ain't playing on the Heat. And it's just like, hey, it's him and everybody else. It was just Bam and the guys versus the Wizards.
So no problem with the Heat or Bam. I don't think it needs an asterisk. All the smoke for the Wizards. That's ridiculous. I can't believe.
Have you heard anything from House?
No, I didn't. I didn't hear anything that he said. I
didn't hear anything either. But I'm sure he got a taste.
Yeah, and then this goes also to the main thing is the NBA. Like, this is, you made your bed, lie in it. Like, I don't know what you do to fix, because we've already had issues with just the game being slowed down through fouls at the end of the game, regardless if you're up by 30 or not. But this is what you get when you got teams that are like just playing to just win a lottery.
Getting their draft picks,
That has to be fixed. And this goes back into like impacting like the quality of the game, how many games we have, like just not just trying to fix the tanking issue, but just like, what does your schedule mean overall? How do you bring value up for each of these games that they matter, that you don't encourage this type of behavior? You don't try to figure out ways to circumvent it. Because even if you try to patchwork it, you're going to find ways to circumvent it. But if you look at it as a totality to fix the schedule in general, that would be a better solve than just trying to patchwork it the way they've been trying to do it for the last how many years. So, yeah, that is
hand him back the Wizards fan card and overhaul the NBA.
It's indicative of the NBA's issues as a whole. Like, that this stuff is, like, you could tune in to watch something like this. Because again, you go back to the Kobe game. Again, obviously I'm a Kobe fan, so I'm not even bitter about Kobe, because Kobe be like, records are meant to be broken. You know what I'm saying? And either way, I told you when we were talking about it, the Raptors were up. They needed every bit of Kobe's 81. Now, near the end, the Lakers started to get the lead a little bit. That, you could say that they probably sauced it up a little bit near the end to kind of boost up some of those numbers. But for the most part, the Lakers were trying to come back the entire game. We had no chance from jump. The only time it got close was like maybe a little bit in the fourth. We were down by like 10 at one point. But then they ran it back up to 30.
Because he was just busting your ass from the beginning. He gave you 31 in the jump, and that was the lead. So
that's ridiculous. That's coming from a Kobe fan, a Laker fan, a Wizards fan. That I come from it, that I can be objective in all angles. That I'm like, that is ridiculous.
Worst loss. And that I could see that from a Wizards fan perspective. That should be like one of the worst losses you've experienced in I don't know how long.
That's where
you're talking about, like.
And I've seen some terrible losses, like Michael Ruffin throwing the ball up against the Raptors and Mo Williams fucking cashing it with like 0.5 seconds left and heaving a 3-pointer to win the game, or like taking it overtime. That was heartbreaking. This shit was disgraceful. That I was like, I don't want to choose to be associated with this team anymore.
You couldn't stop one guy.
Yeah. That I have more respect for the Raptors losing to Kobe dropping 81 than what the Wizards gave up to give up.
I think everybody does. Everybody that is aware of the two games is like.
And you could say, the Raptors were terrible, but at least you were up by fucking 20 at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's ridiculous. But let's get into this wrestling. We got a lot to get through.
Doors opening. Step back to allow customers to exit.
Out the holidays, Samson, my tag partner.
My pro. I'm pro. This is the Wrestling Re-Up podcast.
A weekly stroll through the avenue of wrestling.
Follow us here on the YouTube
Episode 88 of the Wrestling Rehab podcast. We called it last week. We said there was a lot of Cowboys here. We got Des Bryant,
Michael
Irvin, CD Lamb,
Tony Gonzalez.
Shout out. I'm Tony Gonzalez. That's an award we gave out.
Good one, Patrick Kane.
Okay, hockey. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's worth mentioning. 3-time Stanley Cup winner, Hall of Famer.
So shout out to him.
Or he will be.
Not so many times we called out hockey out here.
Yeah, I mean, one of the few names I know, so I'm like, we'll mention him.
I hope for episode 8.
Gretzky's 99, right? I think Gretzky's 99.
No.
So we 99's locked up.
Yeah. I hope I mentioned Ovechkin when we did 8 outside of like Kobe. I'm sure we did. I got to go back and like listen to the archives for that. But yeah, episode 88, we got a lot to get through. We got NXT Vengeance Day to recap. We got a long list card for AEW Revolution.
I'm ready to rip the Band-Aid off on those predictions. We're gonna make that super quick. I'm ready to just be wrong.
Well, let's get into this NXT recap for Vengeance Day. Short card, obviously, compared to what typically AEW does. You got the win on here. Mm-hmm. You, I think, swept it. I believe. I went 3-2. And now for the season, we are back at 500, 7 wins apiece, 7 losses apiece, and a whole bunch of ties.
Yeah.
But now, and you've also reached the 20 win.
Yeah. I didn't even think about the total of that.
On the overall total. So congratulations to you on that as well. But yeah, let's get into the Vengeance Day recap.
Yep. I said, I was like, you had too much dip on your chip, dog. Like the main event, NXT Championship, Joe Hendry retaining versus Ricky Starks, way too soon.
Yeah.
Way too soon. I was tied up between Tatum and Izzy, but I was pretty convicted that it was going to be Tatum also. Mm-hmm. I was like, we're not going to do a dual swap on this show.
Fair.
So you calling for both of them, I was like, nah, that's a little too crazy.
Yeah.
But we agreed on the other 3. Lola Vice and Kaylani, which I enjoyed this match probably, honestly, the most out of everything that was on this card was the underground match. It was really short, but like, I guess I should say the whole lead up to it, because they gave us like, the vignette of, the history, before the match. And that's when I texted you and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, you
thought Lola's going to lose. Yeah. I was like, Lola's going to lose because they showed when Kaylani was TNA champion and they like kicked her out of the locker room. And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't forget about that. Lola's a bitch, dude. Like,
that was not only just Lola, that was everybody.
Well, yeah, true, because they were calling her a traitor and stuff.
Yeah.
So then again, I guess that's where the spark of like the new
that's
Kaylani came from, because she's like, oh, I'll do what you think I am, I guess. But yeah, she gets the spinning back fist W knockout, because she was targeting the hand, Kaylani, the entire time. But yeah, I mean, when they had her mom and dad there and they showed, them in the front row, I'm like, okay, maybe she will win this. She got the W. So I actually enjoyed that the most.
I like that they give that as like Lola's match type.
Yeah.
Like I think she's lost. Maybe no, she's undefeated.
No, she's undefeated. Yeah.
So
that's
the fact that you basically are owning that as like a match type for your character and whatnot is like, that's dope.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if they bring that up to the main roster with her.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've tried to do underground on main roster. I mean, not like this.
Yeah, not like this. But
you remember the Shane McMahon underground with the sexy girls backstage.
Yeah, the little security guard at the door.
Like a bouncer there. Yeah. Like, what the hell is this? Like, we're doing a fight club in the back.
Yeah. I was last week I was unsure. I was like thinking about picking Kalani, but I think you convinced me enough to pick Lola, so I'm glad I did that, or I would have ended up much worse. I want to go back to talking about the championship matches here. I think I had a little too much dip for Izzy retaining against Tatum. I still don't feel I was wrong about Ricky, though. Again, the fact that I guess the only dip is, to your point, that I typically don't like using is the fact that they're B tier pop-up shows.
Oh yeah.
And I typically don't like to use that phrasing because I'm like, we shouldn't feel that way, that we know this is going to be a less than one. But knowing that Stand and Deliver is in a couple weeks, it's like the first week of April, and this is kind of like, I elevated this pop-up show to be more than what it is when I'm like, oh no, if Stand and Delivers in a couple weeks, you can't blow your load. So I do think the Ricky, I do think that he's probably could have won this because again, I don't think Joe Henry's for long in NXT, but I'd rather you do it at Stand and Deliver and kind of like as a demarcation line of
You think he's gone within the year?
Who?
Joe Henry.
I think Joe Henry should be in the main roster by after Stand and Deliver.
Yeah. Okay.
I can see him debuting on or being a free agent.
Yeah.
To decide on both shows before he decides which show he wants to be on. But yeah, is he getting the retaining over Tatum? Like I should have believed in the story that they've been telling the last few weeks with Tatum, and she's like I said, she's super over.
Yeah, Tatum is. Yeah.
That like you had to at least let them
let it breathe some more.
You got some more juice
to squeeze out of this.
Get her. I hope not, but. You got to let her get her title back, or not even get her back, but at least get this win over Izzy. Tony D getting the win over Dion Lennox. We said that we agreed upon that just to get the more out of what Tony's back for and whatnot. We'll get to that when we get to NXT. Jada and Blake.
This is Jada's match type because I was thinking that both them were going to lose their match type, but I guess Jada just lost hers because she kind of took that over from Mi Chin. After, because they had their rivalry and she beat her in that.
So yeah, Blake got the win over that. So, but yeah, pretty tame.
Yeah,
uneventful. I would say.
What did Bleacher Report say? B- or
something like that. Yeah, B- on like on the entire card. But yeah, it was this. I don't like using this phrase, but this is where it feels apt to call this a B tier pop-up show because we went to Vengeance Day last year and it was. All right. That's when we got like the
debut of Dark State.
Yeah.
He was really like, what the fuck is going on here?
And Trick lost because we were cheering.
Yeah, because you did this in Black History.
Yeah,
that's right. He lost to he's not here anymore. The native. He was a native guy.
Oh yeah. I forget his name.
He would talk about his ancestors and
stuff. But yeah, that's Vengeance Day. Staying to deliver in a couple weeks, so that's one where we should expect. I'm assuming bigger
card, hopefully.
Not even a bigger card, but I guess more monumental. Moments probably happening. Sure. Well, let's get into the flagship show, Monday Night Raw. Pretty decent show. Major development finally.
Yeah.
With the Judgment Day, we've predicted some machination of this happening, whether it be Liv or the entire team or, whatnot. But obviously, the longest tenured member of the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, got kicked out after having a war of words with Dominic.
Yeah, calling him a spoiled little brat and stuff.
Yeah. JD McDonough.
Yeah.
The one who initiated it.
I mean, no, it's definitely Dom initiated it.
I mean, I'm talking about the physical part where, you mentioned last week if JD turned on Finn, you're like, yo, that's
the bigger point. Yeah, exactly.
So the one that actually happened.
Yeah, exactly. That's because it's not going to be Dom that doesn't make the point because we already know that Dom's a bastard. But yeah, we get the segment of their promo, which was interesting enough. As I'm watching it, I still didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
not realizing what's happening, which that's why I put it in top shelf because immediately I'm thinking, oh yeah, it also gave me almost a graduation point where it felt like Big Boy Dom. Immediately he felt like he should be in the title picture. After doing that, I mean, not just by proxy, kind of like Highlander-esque, where you kill one by so you can take their power. So it's however high Finn is in that slotting of in the going after the championship build and we care about it.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, is he actually gonna win? I think that'll be Dom now. But yeah, that's why I put it in top shelf. I was like, oh shit, this is some adult stuff that you're doing right here. You just took out Finn Balor. Because now it's got to be clear as day Dom's the leader, right? So
I mean, what Judgment Day says, there is no leader. That's what makes Judgment Day.
Sure. In kayfabe, there's no leader. Yeah, we know there's a leader. Which is why it's representative.
I would say Liv is still the leader, and she's just puppets Dom.
Yeah,
Like I don't think Dom has any agency at all.
Yeah, but possibly so. But he had agency in this because to finish it off, he gave him 2 frog splashes too with the steel chair and everything. So this was a real wipeout of like our kick out, of Finn. So intriguing to see where it goes from here. What Dom does, what everybody does. Honestly,
I'm gonna go standing at the line in Primo, looking over to Top Shelf.
I have it the other way around.
I hope this gets Finn Balor back into the WWE Championship picture.
That's right. I have it the exact opposite. I think, yeah, like I just said, I think Dom is going to be in the picture now.
I mean, they both can be in there and they can be like rivals, but I hope this gets at least Finn Balor into contention of just like winning the World Heavyweight Championship at least one time and actually holding it for, even if it's 3 months, just 3 months. Like, that's all I hope. But I'm not putting my eggs in my basket, so I'm afraid that, like, to your point, like Dominic probably ends up coming out on top of this. And I'm like, then what does that mean for Finn? So that's where I'm like, I'm not sure what's happening. It means
he's Sami Zayn
with Finn.
That's what it means. It means he's Sami Zayn of Raw. We still believe in him, and it's just a matter of time. That's what it is. And at least he's back on his own then. And now we got Dom with his whole fucking squad that he's running.
Primo for you.
Next thing I enjoyed, because this is a combination of the two, or all of this, how it ran together, added up to a Primo. But Penta's celebration of the Intercontinental title, which, once again, as much as I talk to like my Colombian coworker, and he gives me my basic Spanish lessons, I was able to like understand, I would say honestly like 80% of like what Penta was saying, just shouting out like all of like, the Mexican Americans, everybody in Mexico, all of Latin America, this is what it looks like, when you follow your dreams and stuff like that. But also putting the title on the line against a cursed El Grande original.
No.
Or he cursed the original.
He cursed the original.
That's what was funny.
He didn't come out, and then the Ludwig version.
That's what I thought was funny about it. It's like, we're playing off that gimmick. They're the same guy, but original getting cursed by Danhausen because he didn't want to let him try his mask on. And into the great match. We know Ludwig, this is their, I don't know what, at least their second match, right? They've had, before the second or third, because they've had some matches before he was even champion. But their chemistry is great. And it was just a dope all around how we got the backstage leading into the in-ring. Predictable or not, I was just like, that's fine. I enjoyed it.
Danhausen's been killing it. He's also had a great segment on Friday as well. So shout out to Grant Danhausen.
And he came out to hawk his t-shirt housings to the fan housings. So
I'd say it was entertaining. I probably put this as a mid. I enjoyed it. I'd probably flip the other one though, CM Punk and the Usos promo. I probably put that as a Primo for me. You have this as a mid. Just the interaction, and I feel like I'm making maybe a wild prediction. Do we get a Bloodline reunion at WrestleMania?
That's exactly why I had it in mid, because I was like, I don't put any stock into the Usos, like, going further than this. Like, I understand they're sticking up for their uncle. That like makes all the sense in the world. Like, you got our uncle's name in your mouth type shit, so we gonna beat your ass. But I don't think they would go so far to do that. Now, if they did, like, then we're talking about something that's top shelf. If not, maybe instantly presidential. That we're like, oh, we're off to the races with blood, like the real bloodline again. So, and
then again, I just like the fact that like this is so far, like this is I think the best WrestleMania build out of the entire card right now that we're getting with Punk and Reigns, and just again Roman's not here, so the fact that you're able to still continue this, and again, CM Punk is a great promo with anybody, like so. I continuing to keep me engaged with this build for Roman and CM Punk. I'll keep this as a Primo. I feel strong about that. Mids, I would agree with you on this as well.
They squeezed it out.
Yeah. Bailey getting the win in the women's Intercontinental Gauntlet match, pinning Asuka, who also took out Ivy Nile and Io and Raquel and Lyra. Shout out to Bailey. This match is going to be happening next week, I believe.
AJ Lee and Bailey. Were you just struggling on that?
I'm thinking. I was like, well, I want Bailey to obviously have WrestleMania because she got removed from the card last year, like last minute, and so I'm like, I wish this match was at WrestleMania. But I'm like, is there a way that is there going to be like a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania for the women's IC title? Like, I just want Bailey. I just want AJ to be in WrestleMania. I want Bailey to be in WrestleMania, and I'm trying to figure out like how does Bailey get to WrestleMania? Yeah. She's probably going to lose this match.
Yeah.
Maybe she gets caught. Like maybe someone costs this match. I don't know. Is it Lyra?
You need another storyline.
I don't know what happens, but I just hope. I'm trying to see how Bailey ends up at WrestleMania. Yeah. And the fact that this match is happening 1 week after she won this, I'm like, that's a little disappointing.
The only other thing to mention in this for me, I didn't write it down, but what would be Reggie, I guess in kayfabe, is Ivy Nile getting the win over Io after Raquel gives her a Tahana bomb because she's mad that she lost. I'm like, yo, this has been like almost the backbone of like one of Rhea's stories, you know, like just in WWE that she can't beat Io. Yeah. And we got Ivy Nile, who we said is like rated 79 at the highest, you know, running down here, getting a scoop and score, you know.
Hey, sometimes
literally a fumble at the 1 yard line. She just
I don't have a problem with that. You gotta take advantage of the opportunities that are given it to you.
Oh, yeah, of course. You play who's in front of you, and if they're knocked out in front of you, then you're just going to get the win. But I was just I was like, it should mean more. My only point, it should mean more to pin Io. That's my point. That's all. So the fact that you were able to get it off and no work, I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
But but as far as to your Bailey point, I mean, we do have a fatal 4-way. Yeah, that's AJ, Becky, Bailey, and Maxine? How does that work? How does fit? Yeah, I mean, maybe that's a Bailey turn.
I think that's Raquel.
Raquel, powerhouse.
Bailey and
Becky's too big. You need Becky in it.
Maybe Lyra.
Yeah, either way.
No, Becky don't need it.
Well, she doesn't need it, but I just mean in her recent proximity.
Yeah. Maybe 5-way then. That's my only concern. Not a concern, but just like curiosity of how it plays out. Because I can't imagine Bailey not being on WrestleMania again.
Yeah. The other mid that I had was Obafemi getting a predictable win over Rusev.
Yeah, that's shake for me.
The cool thing though, if anything, this can't be shake. It's got to be Primo. It's just the fact that however much we thought that he could, but seeing him do it is something else. But do that fucking toss to Rusev when Rusev is 280, and we was talking about like, yo, can he do that to Brock? Brock got 10 more pounds on him. Like, yeah, he can do that. Yeah. He can do it to Brock. So that's why I was like, okay, all right, yeah. Well, I gotta see it, dog. I want to see like he's got to do it at least like 2-3 times to Brock at Mania.
Again, hopefully
you're building this up so much.
Hopefully he just destroys Brock.
They better not like they fucking go the other way. Like they can't go the other way. Like just swerve us.
Does Brock hit an F5 on over at WrestleMania?
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think yes, and we need to put him over. You need Oba to kick out of that. But he's also never felt an
out.
Not all that.
Not military press, but they push him off like that.
Nah, you can't do all that to Brock. But just having him kick out of an F5 is already big enough because usually just one is putting somebody down. Most people. So except for like Super Cena, you need to do it twice. But I mean, yeah, kicking out of one of those, and then like, because I think he can withstand those Germans, right? Like he's gonna get tossed around, and then he'll get hit with an F5, or like that's not gonna affect him as much as Brock. It usually affects people because he's so fucking big. Hit him with an F5, kick out, and then we just get the reverse. Fucking toss his ass, fall from grace. There you go. But it better happen that way, WWE. I'm telling you. My shake I had Seth Rollins, Endless Goons
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning. That did. Like I said, it was interesting because we were watching the highlights and you were like, "Man, what the hell are they holy shitting about?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sure it worked way better in person in the
Sure.
arena than at home because, like, I agree with you. It did nothing for me
Mhm.
watching it on TV. I was like, okay, like I honestly forget what the segment was about because we get the vision, coming out. Which even without Paul Heyman, it's like, all right, it's just a tag team now. It
Yeah.
still works as a tag
Yeah.
team, but it's
said
like
that.
it's just interesting because now it's like when LA Knight comes out to deal with the Vision. I'm like, this is the remnants of the Vision because that was Seth and that was fucking you over. Like the
Mhm.
original Vision when everybody was healthy, it was doing this to you. You got tsunami'd and speared. That's what happened. You didn't get fucking whatever Austin Theory's
I'm sure that's
finisher
still
is.
not lost on LA Knight. It's just Seth had left by that point.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying it's like we know it's the B-list Vision. This is barely the Vision at this point. This was not the Vision they had and like when they started writing this for sure. But yeah, what'd you think?
It was a start to a show.
Yeah.
It was cool last week with all the whole, masked men, but again, like the masked man gimmick has already kind of just been overplayed too much.
Mm-hmm.
That it's just like I get it, you're stalling for time.
Yeah.
Seth's not officially like cleared and
He's
he
not
can't.
healthy.
Yeah, we gotta wait a couple more weeks. Apparently, he said that like until he's actually cleared from his shoulder injury. So, I get it. I'm not. I understand it from a logistics standpoint, but because watching on television, I'm like, I'm gonna need a little something. What's Seth WrestleMania?
Yeah. True.
Because I
'Cause
can't tell.
Braun's not around.
I can't tell right now
Yeah, because that would I think Braun would
unless
make
he's
the
like in a
most
tag
sense.
team match
But,
with like LA Knight.
yeah, versus
The Vision.
this Vision. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that would make sense. Because we don't.
underwhelming.
Yeah, seriously.
You got to get him on the card somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
I mean,
yeah,
we can only cross our fingers and hope that
if
like
it's
Braun
shake,
Breaker's hernia.
it's barely on shake, almost to like not even putting it on
Yeah,
my card.
My other shake is Kofi, the backstage segment.
I didn't see this. No.
Oh yeah, with Javon. Javon was talking. I mean, he's just hanging. He's a face. He's just hanging out with people, and he's by himself. He walks away, and Kofi comes up to him, and Grayson Waller kind of tries to like punk him,
Mm-hmm.
and like Kofi's like, "Hey, chill out," like I just wanted to talk to the kid, like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, go off somewhere," and basically saying, "Hey, I was that guy that was high flying with all the potential in the world, and I was able to take that to like Kofi Mania." So just think about it, basically,
Mm-hmm.
aligning yourselves with us. And he was like, "All right, I'll think about it." So he just told me he was gonna think about it. I'm like, okay. I mean, he fits better than Grayson Waller. So
Yeah. We'll see how that plays out.
yeah.
It'd be interesting, but again, the New Day are heels.
Hmm.
Javon is almost eternal babyface.
He can turn heel. I mean, his move set right now is
Mm-hmm.
super baby face, but I think he's got some heel in him. I think he could. I mean, we haven't seen any of that.
I'd be interested to see how if he does end up joining the New Day,
How heel Javon looks, yeah.
like how, yeah, even how it just works within that kind of heel, because like New Day still kind of like not comedy heels, but there's a lot of funniness to their heelness.
A lot of character.
Yeah,
they got
that
a lot
I'm
of
like,
character to them.
I think Javon could definitely cut a good promo with them.
Yeah.
As well, but yeah, I'd be curious to see how it blends in with, I guess how he interprets being like, I guess, a tweener heel. That's how I'd imagine. Like he's just gonna be still too likable, but he's kind of like Dominic in a sense, where it's like it's more funny heelish than like you're a dastardly Triple H like assassin.
Yeah,
but interesting. I'll be looking out for that next week. Anything else from the flagship?
No, that's it. Let's
head over to the bodega. NXT recap coming off of Vengeance Day. Pretty chill show.
Mm-hmm.
We agreed on two things here. Charlie turning on Tavion in their tag team match against Uriah Connors and Lexus King.
Lexus King,
We saw William Regal and Fit Finley come out, and Charlie
They
does.
just gave him a look.
Yeah,
Like, you know
Tavion's
what you
about
ought to
to
do.
slide back into the ring. Charlie grabs his foot, gets him into a German right onside onto the padding, and turns on his teammate.
Yeah, throws him into the ring for the 1, 2, 3 coronation from Lexus King. Like I said, Birthright, that's a really good name.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
originally
great
called them
name.
Legacy 2.0, and then I had to look up Uriah Connors' name and make sure he was actually Dave Finley is also his brother as well.
Yeah.
And then that's why I read that they were called the Birthright. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I'd say the only I know you mentioned that you thought that or it feels like Stax is the leader right now, which is funny because he's married in. So where, I mean, we'll get to AEW, but I was like, man, it feels like they need a leader. And I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely where David Finley was supposed to be. I feel like,
I feel like they would have just had him as a tag team.
I think maybe
Uriah and Dave Connors. The Connors are
yeah, I guess they would have given him a different name. I wonder what his name would have been in WWE. So, but either way, that's an alternate universe.
Yeah.
The other, I guess this would be the biggest storyline type of thing. At the top of the card, we get both of our face champions versus both of their heel contenders.
Yeah.
Ethan Page getting a clean as a heel win on Joe Hendry, actually pinning him, hitting a twisted grin on the title. Ricky Saints didn't appreciate the tag in. Now we get that.
Well, Ricky throughout the match also, he was doing everything to not be in the match. Ethan would crawl over to the side to tag Ricky in and whatnot, and Ricky for whatever reason I gotta hop off, or he's just not there, and he was just basically trying to get Ethan to do all the work. So in a way, it kind of worked out that it all ended up Ego actually getting the pin, and that's why Ricky's looking at him a little sideways after the match is over. He was like, bro, you let me get hit, and he was like, bro, if you watch this whole match, you clearly was just taking advantage of me
because he did the blind tag on him.
Yeah, so don't hate the play, hate the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was interesting, and again, I'm here for. I actually kind of wanted Ethan Page to actually win it at least maybe one more time, but that means he would be here on NXT a little bit longer, and I'm like, that's another dude that should just be up on the main roster with Chelsea Green.
Yeah,
and pushing that gimmick further along. But yeah,
joined the Green
that was a fun match.
Yeah.
That was a fun match. I enjoyed it. There's some good character work.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was the only other thing was Miles Bourne. Obviously, I get it's kayfabe, but Miles Bourne comes in right before the end, and drop kicks Ricky Saints, and then goes back on the outside of the ring when clearly he sees that Ethan Page is going for the pin at the exact same time. So he almost, it reminded me of when you're playing street ball and somebody shoots the ball and they hit rim, so you got to take it back out behind the 3-point line. I'm like, yo, the ref ain't paying attention to this shit. But then again, I guess everybody here is a single star. You're not used to being in a tag team, but yeah, poor attempt for him to look all shocked.
That he was in a tag team when he was with the QCC.
Oh yeah, that's true. So yeah, he should be used to it.
Yeah, come on now, don't give that man excuses.
Yeah.
You have one more shake on here.
Oh man, yeah.
Mid. That's what I'm sorry.
Yeah, to start the show, we had Tatum Paxley's celebration of her North American title. So now she's 2-time North American title winner. Giving it up to the fans. Yeah, she won it once, or she was NXT champion.
Yeah,
that's right. My bad. But giving it up to the fans and everything, and obviously getting the interruption from Izzy, and this whole segment of her exposing her, which I was just everybody comes from somewhere. That's not really an exposure, I guess, saying that you're not the gothic princess, weirdo princess that you seem to be, because in her tryout she's all blonde and everything, which I guess she's a natural blonde probably. But that's an interesting thought though, to see Tatum as a blonde. But we finished this segment up with not a dame over, but she does lay her out with something. I forget what it is. That's just she's coming for her title again.
Yeah,
quite possibly stand and deliver
Well, yeah, it was announced that next week.
Oh yeah, it's a steel cage.
They're
That's
in a
right.
steel cage match,
Yeah, that's
which
right.
again is the right trajectory for their rivalry. But the
Yeah.
fact that the title's on the line so quickly, I'm like, clearly Izzy's not winning this title back. So it's
Exactly.
like maybe
I should have put that in here too, but yeah.
I don't know.
Steel cage for
Again,
next
maybe
week.
you run it back at Stand and Deliver in a couple weeks with something a little bit more definitive. Like maybe there's some shenanigans that help
the culling once again.
I don't know what happens, but
because Tatum doesn't have any guys to like help her. Like even in this segment, right before Izzy beats her down,
she did get help from what's his face, Shiloh Hill.
Oh, okay, all right.
So yeah, because after this an opening segment when they were in the ring, the culling were leaving and she was looking for Izzy the entire night. Pretty much that was her storyline.
Oh yeah,
and so she runs into Shiloh and he was like, "I'm looking for Izzy. Have you seen Izzy?" He was like, "No, but I could stop her from going." And he goes outside with a wrench to basically undo the tires.
Oh yeah, that's right. They had the truck up on blocks, right?
Yeah, and so they were stuck there until they could put the tires back on the car and whatnot. So she at least has Shiloh.
Yeah, that's something for him to do.
Yeah,
sure. And I mean, he's weird enough where it makes sense.
They might. I feel like they're building a relationship with like Shiloh and
no, they better not.
And Tatum and saying that like, or at least like a brother and sister kind of like
maybe
Ripley, like Damian Priest relationship, where it's like these two weirdos.
Yeah, I said it makes sense in case. Yeah, they're both weird, so it's like I can see that alliance pretty clearly.
But yeah, that was interesting. I would probably have that at Shake just for the fact that it led to a cage match where I'm like
a predictable cage match. Yeah.
1 week after, like I said, if this was Stand and Deliver, maybe I might have a little bit of a different opinion, even though I'd still would lean with Tatum just for the fact that like she still just recently won it. But again, they have an interesting rivalry. I don't want it to go a little bit longer than it needs to be. So I'd be curious to see like where Tatum and both Izzy head after this, once they stop feuding with one another. But no, again, they do a good job of keeping you engaged every week, so can't hate it on it that much. Only things I have left to talk about my shake are speed tourney final for the women's. Ren Sinclair gets to win over Thea Hale. Thought it was a fun match. Toss up, would have been happy with either one. Not often you get two faces, but yeah, Ren ends up getting the win.
Yep.
Maybe the Ren QCC might have two belts on their hands.
Yeah.
So,
I'm picking her right now.
You're picking Ren to
right now.
Knock off.
We don't care about the speed title. So
yeah, Fallon Henley. Yeah. And yeah, Sean Legacy and Eli Knight were in a triple threat match with Jasper Troy. Keanu Carver comes out of nowhere, takes out Jasper Troy, puts him through the announce table. He starts getting a Booker T's face for whatever reason. It was announced that NXT is going to be in Houston next week, and there's going to be a Booker T appreciation night, so we'll probably see some follow up with that. But yeah, basically took Jasper Troy out the match. He ends up getting double teamed by both Sean Legacy and Eli Knight independently. They both fall on him. They both get the 3 count, and now we have. I think this was a number 1 contenders match for something. I forget, or maybe this was just a match, but yeah,
we got a 450 from Sean Legacy, and then a sort of it was a moonsault.
Just a very high arcing moonsault. Yeah. But yeah, both of them get the win, and they also were announced that there is going to be like a tag team like gauntlet match, I think, or some sort to determine the number 1 contenders for the NXT titles, and they will be a tag team as well. So entertaining match, like for what these guys did, and interesting outcome with both of them getting the pin. That's my shake.
Yeah, makes sense. I don't got nothing wrong with the double pin. It does make me curious about like, because you said they're supposed to be a tag team.
Yeah, they were announced as a tag team along with like there's like a tag team gauntlet match that was announced backstage.
I guess maybe you're just like putting over the fact that like they're both high flyers in that match, and that's why they're a tag team. Because I was like, I don't know how you get there, but it's just like they're equal, man. Exactly, they're just equals in that way. So okay, that's all. That's what I was like going through the machinations of how do you get there.
Eli Knight.
Yeah. But I don't got nothing else for the bodega.
All right, let's head over to the go home show for AEW Dynamite Coffee Shop. Another really good show here. You filled out your card before I did, but I think I agree with what you have here.
Yeah,
And
Willow. I had retaining against Persephone is the best thing on the show. However, predictable is fine, but like when you only see, I think this is maybe like the third time we've seen Persephone.
okay,
Now she's the CMLL Women's Champion, and she showed every bit of that with
Yeah.
the fucking doing a fall away slam to Willow.
Mhm.
Again, the thick girl that she is, that ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she's something like, like a Javon, where she's like 20 or 21 years old too, on top of that. So
Persephone.
Persephone. Yeah, she's got all the, I want to say potential, but she's already a world champion. You know what I'm saying? So she's got plenty of career in front of her, and I want to see more of her, honestly. She really stood out for me because it really was
that spine buster she took outside of the ring.
That was stiff as fuck.
Gnarly.
Yeah, and really, I guess it was a primo more so for me because I was like, this was more so a Persephone feature match of like, oh, look at what we can do here, just with this girl you've never heard of, or maybe you obscurely have heard of her, because it's like, oh yeah, we know Willow, we love Willow. Of course, she's gonna retain her title, but it's like, damn, she's getting thrown around this ring. Like, what the hell? She had her even up for what it looked like she was gonna go for a muscle buster at a certain point in time, and had her up in her her crucifix bomb. And Willow was able to wiggle out of that. I'm like, yeah, I wanted to see her hit that shit too, for real. But no, it was great. And we get the ever so close, not most devastating maneuver, but a variation of a roll up, for the win. But it wasn't the chain wrestling.
No, I did like how Willow added like leverage to the pin, like legally, to like make sure she kept the shoulders down. So I really enjoyed it. Yeah, ending was a little underwhelming in the fact that it did end in basically a roll up. But again, it's a good way to, I guess, to say you kind of protected Persephone in her first,
like another, any other day,
match.
On another day, this could have gone Persephone's way. That's as close as you can get.
So you could definitely run this back. And then another great match that we had here was Kyle Fletcher, again, kind of predictable, retaining
very
again,
similarly,
Speedball. But again, you could tell the chemistry between these two is very high. Some great ring work, great aerial moves from Speedball,
and he had all the momentum in the world. Because I remember even as we were watching the match, there was a point where, like, right before Don Callis' family interrupted, I was like, yo, he is beating his ass. Like, he was roundhousing the shit out of him, hit him with went for Ultimate Weapon twice. Was able to do the standing version though twice. Like, even once on the outside too, where it's just like, man, that shit looks so fucking painful. But
it's as much as we like 99.9% believe that Kyle Fletcher was going to retain, like there is that like 0.1% that made you believe that like, hey, maybe Speedball might be able to pull this out.
I think that's exactly
they did a good job of making you believe, at least. Like,
I think that's exactly the story they were telling us, is that he's definitely worthy of the TNT title. That was his to win if Don Callis' family didn't show up. He was about to win, and then of course you get the whole screwdriver, and everything. So, but very entertaining match. Like, it does make me, because like I said, Kyle Fletcher should move up the card. It just makes me wonder how long is he holding the TNT title for? But then again, I guess in Tony's mind, I mean, we're not psychic. I don't know where Tony has him in his mind. Maybe he's just like, all right, we'll just use him as like MJF of the mid card for now. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think you're right. I think he's high on Kyle Fletcher.
I mean, he's high on him. I mean,
you're definitely going to have to like eventually graduate him to World Championship.
I'm saying within the year, is he going to do that? So that's why I'm like,
I think
he's still mid-card.
If Adam Page can't challenge for it, we talk about you needing to put people in.
Yeah, you got to elevate.
And if Ospreay's not coming back anytime soon, I can see Kyle Fletcher being in there.
He should be, yeah. But either way, that's fine. That's a good problem to have. Have a guy that good. He's still elevating the TNT title regardless.
Isn't he like 25 or some shit like that?
Yeah, he's still young too. Yeah. He's one of those that was like, whenever the not Bleacher Report, but the fucking PWI like under 30 came out, but he was up there, because I know Dominic was number 1.
Yeah,
he was like top 10 for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, the mid that I got up here, Mox and Claudio getting the win over Takeshita and Hechicero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Very,
enjoy this match, but again, it's predictable when I see Hechicero because I'm like, oh, okay.
when you
He's
look at the
gonna
lineup
lose.
and you're like, yeah, who's taking the pin here? And it's like, oh, yeah, this is obvious. Kyle Fletcher's 27.
But Takeshita was asked to hit Moxley with the chair.
Yeah, after they lost the match,
Yeah.
Don Callis family
And
jumped
then he was
everybody.
saying that he did not want to do it this way and basically walked out and told him, he was like, I see you on Sunday or tonight, Saturday. So I don't like what that says for Takesha's chances tonight.
Is it? I thought it was tomorrow. Is it tonight we're watching that?
I think it's tonight.
Today's the 15th? Today's the 14th.
Oh, is it? Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking that adds a wrench in my belief that
it might be
win.
it might be looking at a Judgment Day
scenario
situation. Where definitely I'm like I still want that.
Prior to that, I had to Takeshita winning,
Yeah.
but that right now that makes it like,
yeah.
I didn't know we were heading in this direction with Takeshita.
I mean maybe it's like I don't know how much we care about like
I don't mind the
internal
direction. I'm just saying like as far as his chances.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't know how much we care about like an internal turn of the Don Callis family. You know what I mean? Because that's what they've been telling the story of Takeshita is like he's kind of like Finn right now, where he's been like clearly trying to break out. And he's more face in his philosophy. Now if he just like immediately is like, oh, I got my chance to win the Continental, and I just hit him with like a screwdriver.
I mean, he was
going
to use the screwdriver. No, was that Kyle Fletcher? No, yeah, because Okada used the screwdriver on Takeshita in their match.
Yeah,
in the Continental Classic.
Yeah.
And then Kyle Fletcher went to go look for it, and it wasn't there.
It wasn't there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I initially had mixed it backwards in my head. But we'll see.
That's a good recall though, because that's the last time that like we had this screwdriver in such close proximity to everybody. And yeah, Takeshita did lose that match too. So it's hard to believe that Takeshita is gonna let bygones be bygones, and like Okada is gonna be okay with him winning the Continental title. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's the family, man.
Yeah, they're all conniving bastards, but
yeah, I think there was some good match work. Obviously, like Mox is doing again some of the best work in his career right now. Even with Hechicero, obviously, there might be him taking the pin loss and everything like that. Still great mat, worker, ring worker. And then I like the storyline afterwards. So yeah, I agree with you. Mid standing on the line, maybe on Primo, but obviously I think the predictability of it kind of drops it down for
me. Yeah. My shake that I got to, I'll go with something that's actually on the show, but the MJF and Hangman presser turned into a brawl. Shake because it was just like so obvious of a segment where you're just like, man, this ain't literally ever happened before. But even still, it's very similar to like a contract signing where every contract signing ends in a beatdown, which we'll get to one also later this week. But what I thought was interesting, I mean, if anything was fun for nerds like us, people that are actually watching like wrestling content and wrestling like independent like people on YouTube, like hearing Denise Salcedo in there and hearing Ben Cruz from the Ringer. It's like, these are all the people that I listen to. Those are I recognize all these voices and stuff. They're all in on the bit. That's fun for them. So
they had the normies one time there as like when they were like in Indianapolis and they did like something similar. They're like
they did questions with
the normies were like in the press pool and like a question. I was like, oh snap, that's crazy.
And but yeah, just this obviously, I forget exactly what it is that sets it off, but MJF is just MJF, probably just talking shit, and we get the whole brawl segment out of the backstage into the ring. Hangman hitting MJF with a dead eye and pulling out like the razor board, the razor wire board, like already, and MJF getting out of there. So, the match is happening.
We'll get to that.
And honestly, this is barely worth mentioning, but
Mhm.
I have this written up here as the Mox and Renee date night. I don't know if you saw this on AEW, but you know, Renee Paquette has her unscripted series or
Mhm.
whatever, just her interviews. And this was just her most recent interview that she did this week with Moxley. And I don't know what city they were in. I want to say they were in, I don't know, like recently, but they were just like walking around downtown, and immediately I was just like, oh, this is just this is just them on date night. Like,
Mhm.
because she was asking him, like, we learned nothing new, by the way. It's
Yeah.
just Death Rider talk. Oh, and how, like, we need to set the standard. And if everybody worked as hard as Marina Shafir, everybody would be like a lot better off and stuff like that. And I said a whole bunch of nothing, but I was like, oh, this is cute. Like, they're able to like monetize.
Yeah.
I'm sure they just came from dinner or are
Mhm.
going to dinner, and like they just took this 30 minutes to like walk around a park
Yeah.
and like record this thing. So yeah, that happened this week.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, AEW is pretty tight. I am missing some like, I guess there might have
Roderick
been more
Strong
backstage
returns.
stuff. Oh yeah, Roddy Strong. There we go. Oh yeah, that's right. We had the dogs versus
Darby and
Orange
OC.
Cassidy. Yeah.
That was a fun match.
Yep. And the dogs got the win on that. They ended up like they were beating the shit out of Orange. Was it Orange
Orange
Cassidy took the
Cassidy.
pin? Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end there, yeah.
So that was fun. What else do we have on there?
I mean, that was the next major like actual.
Hmm?
Oh, Young Bucks? Did the Young Bucks have?
Young Bucks, yeah, they were in a match
Yeah.
with Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, that's right. And FTR
with
with
Tommaso Ciampa.
mhm.
Yeah, that was also pretty entertaining as well. So again, go home show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You did all the building. Now we got to get to the show for tomorrow.
Exactly.
So we'll get to predictions for that at the end of the show. Anything else from the coffee shop?
Nope, that is it.
Let's head over to the gallery for the book of wrestling. Book of Wrestling 3 on the docket.
Mm-hmm.
Which one you want to start with?
This is the oldest one. More WCW confusion, just because so much of the booking was confusing at the end. But March 14th, 1999, the main event of the WCW, I forget what this show was called. It was one of their pay-per-views. It was Hulk Hogan taking on Ric Flair in the first blood steel cage match for Hogan's WCW World Heavyweight Championship. The rules of the first blood match are that the first one to bleed loses, as we know that. Within the first few minutes, Ric Flair got busted open, but the referee ignored it. With blood pouring down his face, Flair managed to make Hogan bleed, but the referee ignored this too. Hogan tried to pin Flair, but was reminded that this was a first blood match while both wrestlers were already bleeding. Confusingly, the match ended with Flair hitting Hogan with a tire iron, getting him in the figure 4 leg lock, and the referee making the 3 count when Hogan had his shoulders on the mat. Winner by pinfall in a first blood match was Ric Flair. So that's how you break your booking and your company. It's just funny.
Because he wasn't supposed to. I guess he just
bled way too early.
Yeah, way too early for that to happen.
Yeah.
But
that's probably
that's
legit.
hilarious.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. That makes absolutely no sense. But sometimes it would be like that.
Yeah, I guess I can picture him passing out because when Ric Flair would, he would shake his head and like apply more pressure, and he's sitting up. Maybe Hogan passed out and his shoulders were just down.
Yeah,
they counted it as a 3, but that's what I'm picturing there. But it sounds dumb as hell.
I will jump to the most recent one that we have here. March 13, 2020, the pandemic begins. The WWE aired its first SmackDown from the Performance Center without fans due to COVID-19. The episode also featured Jeff Hardy's return. Yeah, man, we just talked about it when we saw, like, you put up a video of just like NBA players talking about their welcome to the NBA moment, and then Rudy Gobert was on there talking about when he got like posterized by DeAndre Jordan. And yeah, crazy, man, how that started. Like him in a press conference and then, touching all the microphones. The next day it gets said that he has contacted with COVID, and then the whole world just changes at that moment. Yeah. We all just going to lockdown. That's like crazy.
Yeah.
But
nuts.
it's already like what 5-6 years now since that happened. That's crazy. Time
6
flies.
years.
That's a demarcation line of just like generations of just like when time shifted.
Yep. Similarly to us is going to be, well, the millennium, obviously, and
September 11th.
September 11th. Those are the two things that's like defines us as millennials. So it's like those Gen Zers, they'll have the pandemic. They'll be like, I remember when I was in high school and middle school and like on Zoom and shit. Like, it's crazy.
Everybody stayed at the house. So
yeah,
that's
right.
Crazy that we did that for a year.
The last one here, we got March 8th, 2010, Mr. McMahon pinning John Cena. On Monday Night Raw, Vince McMahon beat John Cena in a no disqualification handicap gauntlet match. Cena not only had to face McMahon, but also had to face Batista, Drew McIntyre, Jack Swagger, Mark Henry, and Vladimir Kozlov. I'm like, yep, that sounds like Mr. McMahon. That's how you're going to get that W.
It's funny because like you see like Batista, Drew McIntyre, Jack Swagger, Mark Henry, and Vladimir Kozlov. It's like now with future context, like Drew McIntyre is like, okay, that's a reputable challenger at that, when you look at the name on the surface, because we know who Drew McIntyre is now. I was like, that's not the same Drew McIntyre in 2010. So it's like Mark Henry is probably the only person outside of Batista that you'd be like, man, okay.
I don't even know if he was world champion at that point because he's a one-time champion, but I think that might have been either later that year or it came late.
I could have sworn he won that. He was on. I mean, this happened on Raw, but I could have sworn he had like. Can he win it like in 2009?
Either way, it's around the time.
Yeah,
it was late. I mean, obviously,
because he was on SmackDown when he won the World Championship.
Yeah,
but yeah, interesting to hear. Well, but obviously, that's the character of Vince McMahon.
Yep, making Cena run through the gauntlet. But over at the boutique,
SmackDown.
Yep. Best thing I had up here, the most newsworthy thing, was the contract signing. We got two faces going into a contract signing, but two faces do not come out. Actually, no faces come out, I would say, because Cody gets busted to hell. So he doesn't have a face. And now Randy is a heel. Or at least going into the match.
Yeah, return of heel Randy.
Yeah, which feels more appropriate. We talked about it, as we were watching it. That's like, somebody has to work heel, I guess. Well, I didn't necessarily need it because I think, well, not even I think. We know Randy has reached like the appreciation, like every time you hear his music, it's sung to the top of the lungs, all that type of thing. We know he don't got that much time left, but
he said he can run for another 10 years.
Sure. That's what he says. But what we know as the wrestling usual wrestling healthy timeline, or what we think of as healthy retirement, isn't far off from him. But getting what originally was a face segment, a handshake, is the last thing that we get before
low blow.
Hitting his head off the desk and then a low blow and steel steps. Originally I forgot, it happened so quick that I forgot what busted open Cody. He hit him with the steel steps.
Okay, and
that's what it was. And he gave him a concerto, like a reverse concerto with his head cradled in it. So clearly his head and face wasn't hit at all, but it looks good visually.
Yeah, this ear still rang
really
though.
good. Oh,
that shit will fuck your eardrums up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But really good segment from Randy, looking like, an apex predator.
Yeah.
Again.
It's good to see him back. Like, still got the form.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also the issues that Sammy and Cody been having. Like, I think Cody's losing this at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like, through some shenanigans, Sammy interference, Randy just being the ultimate heel. Like, Cody, I think, is taking the L in this, and I think we get 15 time.
Yeah, I would still have that regardless. I would still, even if he was face or heel, I would still pick Randy because it's just time for it. But as we talked about before, I was like, oh, yeah, with him turning, I was like, it feels almost like, more appropriate because that's like what you think of as peak Randy, right? So it's like, it would be awesome for him to be champion, or even in the match, like we get the first punt in a while, and that's what puts Cody down. I could see that for sure, and that makes Randy all the more dangerous, with his punt, and he starts listening to the voices.
I agree with you though, Primo. I also agree with you on our mid with Jacob Fatu stays 10 toes down. Drew McIntyre quits. I had a question mark to that because he quit in the beginning of the night. He had a little back and forth with Nick Aldis, and then Jacob came out. They had a little back and forth, and Drew was like, I'm done with y'all. Y'all annoy me. I quit. Comes back later in the night during the Trick and Jacob match, where
which was the lower mid. But yeah, I had both of them.
We'll talk about them both.
Yeah.
Drew,
it looks like 3, but it's
Trick,
actually 2. Like,
Drew
really big ones.
comes back out of nowhere, takes out Jacob. Trick ends up getting the win.
Mm-hmm.
Is Drew still quit? Like, I guess, did he
No.
do that as a quit wrestler, or did he do that? Can he get suspended? Like, how does Nick Aldis punish Drew McIntyre?
I think that was just Drew manipulating Jacob in that sense. He didn't really quit.
Okay.
He was just doing that to throw him off because he was like, okay, I'm gonna beat your ass later. He already decided in that moment because Jacob, as I said, stood 10 toes down. This was the calmest, clearest we've ever heard Jacob. Where he's like, this ain't about Cody, it's not about the title or nothing, it's about you and me. And I'm the one that cost you. I want you to know that, basically. So I think that was just the exact moment where Drew's like, oh, okay, motherfucker. Like, I'll beat your ass later. But yeah, like you said, does come back and interfere to give Trick the win. Still, I mean, great way to keep Trick hot, too.
Yeah.
And keep this rivalry going. Yeah. Does Trick have a Mania match?
Not yet.
You got to figure out. Maybe it's like a open challenge situation. I could see him with like he's braggadocious enough to do that.
Yeah, he already got one with Brock. So
Brock does have an open challenge at Mania. Yeah. Maybe just do one each night. It wouldn't be too much.
Maybe it's Mello.
Yeah. For the US title.
Yeah. But maybe. You haven't done any kind of build up for that, so you only got a few weeks to kind of get that ball rolling. But you can, I guess, pick that up anytime, especially with how arrogant Trick is. He can easily work himself into a match.
I mean, he's already slotted at the top of the card, so I wouldn't have a problem with him beating Mello already. Like you said, even though there's not that much of a story, he's already slotted there where it's like the same. This isn't the same Trick from last year. You know what I'm saying? So this would be a new layer of a story to tell, in a sense, where it's like, because Carmelo's going to have to overcome that. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely say he needs to be at WrestleMania just because you gotta have
the chant. Yeah,
for sure. They gotta play that. WrestleMania for both night 1 and 2, the first hour is on ESPN, and so it's like, oh yeah, you gotta have that Trick come out during the first hour, whichever night, and have the entire crowd chanting "Whoop that Trick." I'll agree with you. I'll keep that as on the lower mid. Then I would disagree with you on Irresistible Forces retaining against the We're Not Friends by Bella interference, because I was a little annoyed that it ended up like that.
Yeah, it was good enough.
I'll put that as a shake just for the ending.
Yeah. I felt like it was good enough that it's like, once again, predictable, but I mean, not the interference necessarily, but just that they're not gonna, win the titles on this SmackDown.
Yeah.
But if anything, it slots the Bellas there where they're still, I guess, I don't know how viable they are as contenders, but we did just get Brie back, and obviously not before Mania, but post Mania they can win the tag titles at some point in time.
Is there a possibility, maybe if it's not a 3-way, maybe a 4-way TLC women's tag team title match at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Do the Bellas win that?
Bellas, yeah.
Charlotte.
I mean, we brought Brie back for a reason. Nikki has been, coming back and forth. So that's where I'm like, we got to give them the titles at some point, I imagine. But yeah, that's on the table. It's on the table. It didn't bother me that this was a interference though. But my shake that I had up here, Jade with a relative. I mean, I guess it wasn't that quick. But win over Michin. Because I was gonna say she did get some offense in, but I mean we knew this was gonna be an ass whooping, really from the jump. And we get Rhea coming out due to like the shit talking Jade's been doing, and basically like talk shit to my face, and Jade backing down. I mean that doesn't bode well for her either. I mean we still got some weeks, but I don't know. Do you get like an attack from behind or something? Yeah. Next week, like you got to do something. Where I'm like, you can't just have her like in the. They're
gonna have some physical interaction. Like Jade's gonna like choke slam her or like put her through an announce table or something at some point in the next couple of weeks. I feel like. You also had Tiffany getting the win over Kiana.
Yeah.
got Tiffany calling her shot out to defeat Julia for the U.S. title.
Interesting slotting of her just saying that she wanted the U.S. title. That just caught me off guard.
I think it's probably more so like there is a storyline going on for the women's title right now. And yeah, let her come with what you call it.
How close is Bianca, man?
Let her get a Grand Slam, become a Grand Slam at some point.
Oh, sure. I mean, she's got plenty of runway. That's
yeah. I'm saying like she can hold the title for a few months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's SmackDown.
That's all I had. Yep.
Like the biggest thing here was Cody and Randy segment, turn and whatnot, and so and then obviously Drew quitting, but again, Drew apparently quit like 2 years ago as well. So
nobody does what he does there. I'm sure he quit on Raw.
Drew, it's just overreacting all the time. Not overreacting, but again, you always say it's taking things to the furthest level of being pissed off. Anything else you want to talk about before we get into AEW Revolution predictions?
No, I'm ready.
Let's get into it. We have a long card that is typical of AEW. I don't have this in order of when these matches come out, so I went down from just like the regular matches down to obviously the top of the card, what I imagine. Singles match: Andrade, Idolo. My bad. I'm blanked out on his name for a second. Versus Bandito.
Andrade.
Yeah, because I think maybe it leads into what you call it? A Ring of Honor World Championship match between Bandito and Andrade, where Bandito probably gets to get back on that. But
I didn't even think about it all that far. I just think that Andrade is the new.
I just jumped to that right now, but I'm like, I kind of wanted to pick Bandito, but I'm like, the fact that this is just a straight up singles match, it doesn't hurt him. It doesn't hurt him if he ends up losing, especially if Andrade does some type of shenanigans to be able to pull out the win.
Don Callis family.
Next singles match, straight up, Brody King versus Swerve. We just saw Brody break out of the chains against Swerve on Wednesday.
Yep. Swerve barely escaping.
Yeah. You got Swerve getting the win. You think it's clean as a heel?
Yeah, sure. I said Swerve is a tweener, so he can do that at any point in time. Granted, he doesn't need to. He's got the house call, and he's not going to hit big pressure on him, but he's got the house call and the Swerve stomp. That's enough to put him down, for sure.
Yeah, I can see them running this back again at their next pop-up show with a stipulation, because I think Swerve probably does something heelish to get the win, and Brody was like, I had you beat.
Yeah.
I think Brody dominates a lot of this match, but Swerve just ends up pulling it out as a heel. So I'll agree with you on that. Everyone is banned from ringside. Singles match: Toni Storm versus Marina Shafir.
Marina.
I'm going to go Toni.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess not. That should, yeah.
No,
because everyone
just because they say that doesn't mean like the ref ain't going to get knocked out and somebody's going to come and interfere.
Yeah, I mean, because my thought is like Toni.
Who's going to help Marina if it's not a man? Because Toni has like Mina Shirakawa that can come help her. Maybe somebody else. Not a man. Like who's coming to help Marina? Because Megan Bane's already got a match.
Yeah.
I
would say it's probably Wheeler. Wheeler is most likely to interfere with.
Yeah, I can see that.
But Mina could interfere with Wheeler. Like, even though she's a woman, I can see her, like, I don't know, slapping him or something where, it's enough of a distraction. I just think, I mean, Tony's clearly in a holding pattern. Like, so my natural inclination is yes, Toni is just like obviously more over than Marina. Yeah. And that's why she should win. My other thought is like, I mean, this doesn't hurt her. I mean, the last time we saw Toni against, well, I think that was like the tag team tournament. Like we had the Timeless Love Bombs beating the Babes of Wrath, which they didn't. I mean, yeah, this could be just a feel good. We got, Swerve is a bad guy. So, assuming that this is in order, that's 3 bad guys winning in a row. Yeah, that's probably Tony.
Next match I have listed here: Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong versus the Dogs, which is Dave Finlay, Clark Connors, and Gabe Kidd.
Interesting thought here because, easy, when it goes into like wrestling prediction kayfabe is like, okay, what's the last thing that we saw? And the Dogs won last time, which would tell us that they should lose this time. But the Dogs are also brand new. You know what I'm saying? So it's those two ideas that are working against each other.
Strong just came back.
True. Yeah, true. That adds the all right, the dynamic of it. But
I'm gonna go. That's a tough. It is a toss up. I completely agree with everything you just said, but I think I'm gonna go with Darby, OC, and Roderick.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm like, because it should be the Dogs. I feel like, but like I said, that we just saw like the greatest hot tag ever. It wasn't even a tag, and Roddy came in. You know what I'm saying? So interesting. Because this is definitely, because we know Darby. Darby is fucking. He'll fight you to the forever for like 6 months. How long has he been fighting Gabe Kidd? I feel like
months. Yeah, it's been a few months now. Because remember they had fought at what's the New Year's pay-per-view?
Yeah, World's End.
End.
Yeah.
So it's been
because I was predicting Darby to win that one.
Yeah.
And he didn't win that because Gabe Kidd won that one. Yeah. Yeah, this is fine. This is a trios. Like this, I think this is similar to like what you said with I don't know if you said Marina and Tony got some more meat on the bone, but like, or no, not Marina and Tony, but Andrade and Bandito, where they could go for the title or something, like, because this is clearly like the Dogs are clearly going to be in the trios titles thing, so we can go with some rivalries there. This doesn't hurt them yet, but it'll get their lethality over. I think that's a word. Yeah, I think I said that right. So I'm agree with you.
Lethalness. Yeah.
And Roddy. Yeah.
Roddy.
Oh yeah. I put an E.
Other trios match. This is the World Trios Championship match. Don Callis family of Okada, Fletcher, and Mark Davis defending their titles against Mystico and Jet Speed.
I'm gonna go with retention.
Same here. They just won these belts.
Yeah.
Though they don't really need it. Maybe you might see some. Fletcher and I think Okada are good. I'm not gonna overthink it. I think Don Callis family ends up retaining. Roman's World Tag Team Championship match. The Babes of Wrath defending their titles against Megan Bayne and Lena Cross.
I'm gonna go with Mega Cross. I think that's their name, or that's what I'm gonna call them.
I'm not even familiar with Lena Cross. I'm like, Megan Bayne just got a new tag team partner every week. Like,
yeah, because Penelope Ford got hurt again.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. And like we only saw her last week when she debuted. This is my swing because I do feel like, she just debuted. So, I mean, if anything, it's just putting over that she's that much more powerful than Penelope, because Babes of Wrath, yes, are over. I think I love my girl Harley for sure, but when it comes to like elevating the titles, I'm glad they're the first. So that's already a level of elevation. And they've had 2 or 3, or because they did a triple threat where they defended also.
Yeah. But it feels like it's kind of been lost.
I don't want to say exactly. Like they've lost the plot, necessarily like in these storylines, because it doesn't feel as much storyline as it is just wrestling at this point. So if we're gonna do that, then we might as well just give it to somebody else, because Willow is a character who I think benefits way better from the storyline. I mean, everybody does, obviously, but she's one of the deeper favorites.
Do you think
one of
it's
the
fact
characters.
that Willow is a double champ and a lot of the priority has been given to the TBS title and not enough to the women's tag team? Like, if Willow didn't have the TBS title, you would see them a little bit interact. It doesn't feel like they interact a lot in the tag team championship. I haven't seen that, and I feel like I've been missing that in the last few weeks.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's maybe where I'm getting because, like I said, it doesn't feel like that she's dry. I'm still with Willow, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think maybe that is what I'm saying. That because it's been like out of sight, out of mind.
Mhm.
That it's like, okay, you might as well give these to somebody else. Where Megan Bain has been like, regardless of who her tag team partner is, has always been one of the top contenders for
Yeah.
the championship, and that's clearly her goal. So, and my tag team rule is that you can either win by storyline, which we do not have, or size, and
Yeah.
they got size. So
I'm
that's
gonna
where I'm gonna go
with
with that.
you as well. I'm gonna go Mega Cross, and I'm gonna say what's going. Harley Cameron turns on Willow.
Dang, that's crazy. Harley Cameron? No, man, not my
I
bag.
think she's annoyed that Willow didn't take their tag team championship reign as serious, and then she's gonna come for that TBS title, and maybe Harley ends up becoming new TBS champion. So that's what I'm gonna go with. So we agree on that pick, but I went a little bit deeper on my booking. Other tag team match, World Tag Team Champion match, FTR versus the Young Bucks. I feel like it's the Young Bucks time, man. They've been killing it.
It's the Bucks. Yeah.
I know.
I'm surprised we matched all the way up until this point. It doesn't feel forced either.
I know.
I feel like I'm just very
FTR, I feel like they recently won these belts, but I'm like, they don't really need the belts. And I think the Young Bucks, like, they've done enough to build themselves back up from like being like the what were they called?
The Founding Fathers.
Yeah.
I like the Founding Fathers.
So like, coming back as faces and whatnot. So I can see them pulling this out.
It's funny because I had the vision sort of like, the meme that we were talking about with Kevin Nash in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
I'm like, if they retain, I think it's a Stokely's gonna pull a Kevin Nash / Vince McMahon, or not Vince, but Linda McMahon.
Just like get her from the chair.
Yeah, exactly. Like he hasn't been, like, we know he's not hurt, but he's been in this wheelchair forever. So at least it feels like forever.
That's good booking.
Yeah, and it's like we know he's a non-combatant, so it'll be a big deal when he does interfere because Heyman never grabs somebody's heels in the middle of the match usually.
He's done it, but
he's done it, but it's not. That's a big deal when he does. It's like because you put yourself in harm's way. So, but yeah, I still don't think Stokely can overcome. I think Stokely might even get a fucking Meltzer driver, tonight.
When is the next pay per view after this?
I don't know. I'll check.
I'll look it up real quick.
Oh, okay,
Dynasty.
Okay, that's the crossover with. Wrestle Dynasty is the crossover with New Japan.
Yeah, this is April 12th.
Okay. Next match, no time limit match for the AEW Continental Championship. Moxley versus Takeshita.
Like I said, man,
I
was going to pick Takeshita up until what happened on Dynamite.
Yeah. That's why I bring up. I don't know how much we would care. How much Tony's penchant for like an internal. It wouldn't be a double turn. It would be Takeshita turning against us, the crowd, effectively, because we've seen him,
not
resisting.
If he doesn't see it happening.
If Takeshita doesn't see it happening.
Yeah.
Oh, so they interfere on his behalf and he doesn't realize. Yeah. Like they hit Moxie with a chair.
Because at the same time, Mox and Claudio, they won with an eye rake.
Yeah, or eye poke. Yeah.
I'm saying like they won through heelish tactics as well. So it's like. Maybe that plays into like maybe Takeshita tries to play the clean route, but then Mox doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like he's gonna get the win the way you get the win.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's fun.
That like this past week, I'm maybe playing myself. I'm going Moxley.
I don't think you're playing yourself because I'm gonna agree with you, and the reason that I am is because not just that, but as I was looking at these predictions, I realized I was like, oh shit. That's right. Takeshita's not one of the trios champions. Because my thought was, imagine the booking that Don Callis has when he's like, we're the trios champions and we have all mid-card titles.
I mean, that's what they want. They want to have all the titles. And so that's why I'm like, that's why they want to help them out.
Yeah.
But
I think the image of this on three guys is way more significant than, granted, Mark Davis, he's recently over, but he's not Takeshita. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't had the time with us that Takeshita's had. And even with like the no time limit draw, I would say that this would favor Takeshita because, even in kayfabe, he's younger and all that type of shit. Even though we know Mox can go forever, but yeah, that's where I'm like, Takeshita doesn't quite fit the puzzle of Don Callis family at this point, where it just feels too much like I said, a Finn Balor and Judgment Day situation, where I don't want to say it's an echo. And that's like the only other thing that's like kind of like pushing me towards that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I got Mox. 2 out of 3 falls for the women's championship. I would say that this definitely favors Chris Statlander. I'm going to go with Tekla still.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Tekla. Like,
and I think that she's so charismatic, it's funny. I do want to say she has more work to do on the mic. I like her on the mic. Her intensity comes across. That's something that Stat couldn't get across. So I'm willing to work more with her and her faction than I would be to give it back to Stat already. So that's why I'm picking Tekla. And the headliner, it'd be a surprise if we tied this. Last chance Texas death match for AEW World Championship. If Hangman loses, he will never be able to challenge for the AEW World Championship again. MJF versus Hangman. I'm gonna go MJF because that's just way too. Why do you give us the stipulation if it's not gonna happen? And it's way more interesting storyline wise if, like I said before, if Hangman is just permanently wiped off the board. Like MJF is just gonna fucking drink that up. Like, he already can't. I mean, that's the magic of MJF, is that like every rivalry, he's really one of the best wrestlers in the world. He does make it feel like he hates that person's fucking guts like so much. Like, even though it comes off so effortlessly, it's like, him just even on the press run talking about how like I don't belong in this fucking match. Like, Hangman, of course he loves it. He's indie fucking garbage, But yeah, that whole swerve booking that I did, 2 years in advance, Or maybe it's the one I did earlier today, and he just doesn't win any titles at all, and he becomes an alcoholic again, and like we got to redeem him. But it's just better if MJF wins.
I agree. MJF, I have him winning as well. I do think you take Hangman out the board. I can still see it, depending again if the Swerve and Brody match happens early in the night. I could definitely see Swerve coming back out and costing Hangman again. Just more of just like I'm taking you off the board.
Exactly. And Swerve would do that.
That just strategically makes sense to do that. Like, you're the dumbass that put that on the fucking line.
Why would you do that when he earned a title shot? And once again, if he loses, this has got to go down as like one of like the kayfabe dumbest face things that's ever happened in wrestling. Like, you already earned your title shot. Why did you put your career on the line just because? It makes no sense. But so you could name, like, I guess, because the trade-off we're supposed to believe is that he did that so he could name the stipulation. Even though it came down to a coin flip. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's what we're supposed to believe is what's happening. Is that so he could get home court advantage stipulation. He's willing to do this. But those are predictions. We're predicting a tie. It's fine.
I'm switching it, though.
Okay.
You've got me with the Young Bucks and FTR. I think maybe next month, Bucks. I'm going to go with FTR retaining with Stokely. I really like that prediction. Of Stokely getting up from the chair and like costing the match or something like that. And then getting right back into the chair and pretending like, and then again, the singles matches, I'm mixed on both Andrade and Bandito and Brody King and Swerve. I can see Brody getting the win.
I think Swerve needs to fucking. I mean, if he's gonna,
especially if Swerve ends up.
If he does, that's true. If he lose, I believe that. If he interferes, then that would predate, or that would air to me that he probably lost that match because that's the bigger no. Obviously, I would say those two things would go hand in hand. That's if you're calling that prediction. So, because those two go hand in hand. And Bandito can definitely beat Andrade. I mean, obviously, that's just a straight up. That's gonna be just a.
But I think
2 luchadors are awesome. Going at it. That's gonna be either one of them could win.
But yeah, I'm gonna stick with those. But yeah, we'll have at least one prediction where I'm
Dang,
going.
you're gonna beat me with my own
Yeah.
booking. You're gonna beat me with my booking.
It would
Watch.
be only right. It would be only right.
Yeah,
So I'm going FTR. So we will have a winner. To
how long have they had the titles?
I want to say World's End.
I think that's the thing. Is like with them is like, well, just FTR and the Young Bucks. It's
Yeah.
like Usos and New Day. Like
Yeah.
when they were in theirs, it's like, yeah, the Usos are longest reigning, but the New Day were also longest reigning.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So you would imagine that reign has got to come at some point in time. Maybe it's now. So FTR put them over, hold the titles for like a year. That ain't nothing to sneeze at, you know.
No.
We still got, I mean, plus Hurt Syndicate's still out. They're probably like the biggest actual threats,
Yeah.
you know. So
But those were our predictions for Revolution, which is tomorrow night. And we'll get back to you next week on how that played out. Hopefully, I pulled out the win.
yep, our Steve Smith episode.
Santana Moss.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any champions this week.
Oh shit! I forgot about the champions of the week. I'm sitting here thinking we about to end it. Yeah, this is from TNA.
Revolution during the Oscars. I got a dual screen that.
Yeah. This is a new title I came up with. This is the TK. I'm little TK. I don't think you want no action. Gang. For hyper violent intro music.
Okay.
Title going to Ricky Sosa.
Yeah.
Who has immediately an earworm of music.
Mhm.
If you've heard it, that I was just like, oh yeah, this is
I saw it a few weeks
Chief
ago,
Keef.
spreading online wrestling on Reddit and whatnot of just like Ricky Sosa's entrance is like one of the best entrances.
Yeah.
Today.
Mm-hmm. And he debuted, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. So
Debuted
on TNA.
On TNA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember him seeing that pass through the news wire that he signed with TNA.
And TNA has been getting all the viral wrestlers. Everybody that's on the internet coming to TNA.
You got yourself a TV national broadcast now.
Yep.
You got to be able to get people to tune in for a good reason. So shout out to Ricky Sosa.
Yeah, and then the look of him, I was like clearly just assuming he's American.
Mm-hmm.
And went back to look at one of his matches. It's like, oh, he's from Belgium. Like listening to the track,
really?
like to drill music and shit. I'm like, because it sounds like some Chicago drill.
Yeah.
Like, shit for sure.
That's the vibe, man. I went out to like a club last weekend and was just hanging, and like the DJ was just playing pretty much like the same type of music.
Yeah.
Whether it be men or women, it was just the same kind of like drill, hip hop, same rhyme patterns and everything. I'm like, this is so mind numbing right now. Mm-hmm. But that's also, I'm like, that's just me sounding old right now. But I was like, man, this is why I don't go out anymore.
Yeah, right.
Because this would be just so annoying to hear like 3 hours of just the same type of, young
blast and bass in your ear,
young
all that
music.
type of shit.
I'm just like, but that is episode 88.
Wait, I'm gonna change my predict. No, yeah, that was episode 88.
88.
Right? Yeah. All right. Catch us next week, episode 89. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those things right here. All right. See y'all next week.
Peace.